Hating the concept less than normal?
That's reasonable. I should let you all know, actually, I realize that I haven't told you this yet, because other things have been on my mind. But those papers you brought me originally from Captain Kimte,
Right.
we have done some investigation on the individuals mentioned. 2 of them are in custody awaiting trial for conspiracy and theft. The other 2 appear to be innocent and are returning their art without complaint. We'll be sending it back to Corellendale, where they will, I assume, send it back to their appropriate places.
Woo!
So,
Very muted.
just figured you'd like to know that that's been completed and done.
I do. Thank you very much.
Garrett takes a step forward and looks at Airlax and I apologize for how I acted yesterday. I wasn't really attentive, and let's just say I got a shock I wasn't expecting. I didn't mean to disrespect you or your position.
No disrespect taken. You're quite alright. I appreciate the apology, though.
He nods and takes a step backwards.
Alright. Let's go make our way to the General's quarters, and he'll escort us then to the Hall of Governance. Okay, and she leads you out again to the General's quarters. She raps 3 times on the door. He opens up. He also, of course, in his uniform, greets you all as he does in his booming, deep voice, and leads the 7 of you, including the lieutenant, outside of this building. Takes a couple of roads that you haven't been on, sort of pathways that you haven't been on before. You of course haven't done much exploring in the Central District, having been to exactly 1 building inside of it, and then make your way to what you can see now. You're approaching as you walk amongst the buildings. You can see in the distance a large, basically 7 spires that are all sort of in the same general vicinity that you think, when you first start walking and looking at it, that it looks like they're separate buildings. But as you get closer, you can see, no, these are all one very large building. It's and as you get closer to it, you can see that it's sort of a matte silver color with some shinier silver accents on it. And so you approach, and finally you turn onto a pathway that is, unlike most of the pathways in this area of the Central District, is lined with trees and plant life. Appears to be pretty well kept and gardened. And you walk down this several 100-foot long pathway that leads you straight towards this massive building. You can see as you get closer that the building itself appears to be, or at least the outer covering of it, is in fact metalwork. It's not gem or stone or anything. It is metal on this building, though it is less reflective or hot than you think it might be, which you think might be the work of magic, very probably. As you approach, you see a pair of very large, ornate doors, also silver, with some inscriptions on them, various engravings, that appear to be written in Draconic. Does anyone speak Draconic?
I think I do.
Unless it happens to cross over with Dwarvish.
It does not.
I do very much.
As you look up at it, it doesn't. It basically just says the Hall of Governance, home of the rulers, stuff like that. Nothing of any real deep meaning. It's more just like sort of, impressive information, as it were. Right. As you approach, the doors seem to open by themselves, opening like normal doors this time, as opposed to the gates, which on the bridges which curled back. These just open very slowly. This brings you into a large hallway, which this was super cool. Which basically, as you look around inside, you see that the walls and floor are just a clean white stone of some variety. As you look up, the ceiling's about 60 feet up. The building at this point in the day appears to be lit primarily by skylight. There is several like openings that you think might have glass or something in them that are letting light through in this area of the building. You don't see any people in this hallway, which is large, but you do see on each side of this hallway 3 doors, and then in front of you, one more very large door at the end. General Scarex leads you down the hallway towards this door. Damn it. General Scarex leads you down the hallway towards this door, which is, again, large. And as you get a little bit closer, you can see that it has a very simple pattern embossed on it, and it is in the shape of a basic shield. No words, nothing complicated, just a shield on this door. As the 8 of you arrive at the door, General Scarex knocks. On the other side, you hear a voice, female, that speaks. Who requests entry to the council chamber? And Scarex responds, General Scarex, and 7 guests. You may enter, General. Bring them with you. You see the doors swing open majestically, slowly, but not too slowly, as it were. And as this does, it reveals a large circular chamber that's also well lit. As you look up, you see that the ceiling comes together at the point of a dome, which you gather might be one of those spires you saw. And at the top of this dome, the very tip, it is white stone. As you come down, the ceiling opens up to more skylights that light this area, and the walls steadily get darker and darker as they come down. The dome eventually turning into just straight down walls. At this point, silver gray going straight down, 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 darker gray, and then to the floor, which is a shining obsidian black. Inside the room, there's not very much in the way of furniture. You see a single large rectangular table some feet in front of you. And behind and to the sides of this table, you see 7 figures, some standing, some seated. The figure on the far right from your perspective, who is a blue tiefling woman in an elegant but inexpensive dress, takes a step forward with a pleasant look on her face. Welcome. This is the same voice that you heard from behind the door. I am Joy Centaurus, representative of the Central District, and we are the Council of Dragonics. It's good to meet you. For introductions...
Garrick bows.
For introductions, for the rest of us, this is Morgana Smoketail, the representative of Marcellus, and she gestures to the figure on the opposite side of the table from her, the far left. This is a black dragonborn woman who is dressed in fine, but you gather to be well-worn and fairly durable clothing. Next to her, you see a green dragonborn man who's wearing sort of the clothing of a scholar. Chancellor Dizen Foldiron, representative of Telluris. Next to him, you see a human woman. She's definitely the shortest of the group, as most of them are dragonborn, and dragonborn tend to be taller than humans. This woman also has sandy skin and dark hair. This is Liang Xiao, representative of Eris Island. Next to her is someone you recognize, a copper dragonborn woman wearing a fine suit and a pair of gloves and a pair of spectacles. Exandria Delisle, who I believe you've each met, the representative of Kellam.
Oh, we've met. And he gives her the stink eye.
You see her sort of cross her arms.
Is that the one that came up behind Gax?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Next to her, you see a very tall but older dragonborn man, silver scales that glisten under the long robes of a priest. This is High Priest Sindros, representative of God's Court. And then there's one individual remaining in between Sindros and Joy. It's another silver dragonborn, this one a woman, clearly very muscular, wearing plain clothes. And finally, Severa Dostrad, representative of Harthial. And then she turns to General Skarax at that. General Skarax, these are the individuals who investigated the tunnel in the catacombs, yes? And he nods, his standing basically at attention here, hands clasped behind his back, very straight. Very good. Introduce yourselves, you six, and explain to us what you've found. From what the General has told us, you've done us a great service, but we'd like to hear the story directly from you, if you don't mind.
I found these really cool earrings that I made them from rabbit's feet, and I got this drawing I did on my shield just the other day too. Did Norn say thank you?
I did.
He was
Thank you for switching to the maps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what all the.
I gotta switch. You.
So, this is Gax. I'm Norin, Goldleaf, Dragon Slayer. Nice to meet you. Norin's gonna cinch the feather cloak up a little bit and just bow very courtly, making sure that it's as popular as possible. This right here, this is Big Zarn.
Kind of does that nod so.
I was thinking a forward nod. Sup is more of a backward nod.
And then
just
the little one beside him. Yeah, the little one beside him is Bree. She's.
Bree says something smart, Alecky.
I imagine it starts with Bree Norins.
Yeah, something like that.
And then introduces the blue arrow, which is that guy in the end. And then over there, trying not to make eye contact with Hannah. Not really sure what her thing is. She just really hates crowds.
It's nice to meet you all.
Derek actually doesn't have his mask on and the hood's down, so...
Noted.
So the blue arrow just doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
You see sort of a variety of facial expressions after this introduction of sorts. Joy sort of has a wry grin on her face, whereas Exandria maybe is looking a bit impatient, and it sort of runs the gamut from there. You hear Liang, the human woman, speak up. Yes, that's all fine and good. Can you tell us what you've found? What happened?
Well,
we went into the catacombs.
we found a tunnel, went down the tunnel, defeated a giant bug thing, still in there. Found a bog. In the bog, we found a hag. Don't ask. After the hag...
At this, the Silver Dragonborn woman, the muscular one, speaks up. The important stuff, please. Enough.
Well,
the trivialities don't matter.
Garrett gives her Garrett kind of gives her what nerve do you have?
You said details.
You see Syndros kind of turn to her and be like, patience, Sivera. Let them speak their tale.
After the hag, we found a forest. In the forest was a waterfall and a river. There were kobolds there. We defeated the kobolds. Some of the kobolds, we think. There might be more, we're not sure. There was a dickhead tree. Norn fell out of it. That's why it's a dickhead tree.
It says some very weird things about all of your mothers.
We went down into the cave, found a green dragon. We killed the green dragon. If I don't say this, he's going to get mad. Norin killed the green dragon. And then we spent the night there and came back.
Galitaia.
Okay, to add to his story, we, in process of me being heroic and dragon, all by myself, actually. Okay, fine, these guys help. But we learned his name is Galitaia. We also learned via eavesdropping on Galitaia. She was speaking to a man named Solurus Tillix here in the city. We believe that he is part of the sort of support network to